passed down through time. But many of these sayings hide a truth soaked in blood, fear, and death. Tonight, we peel back the curtain of history and reveal the real stories behind the words you thought were safe.
Today, we think of classrooms, the school bell ending the lesson, but the phrase was never about school. In the 1700s and 1800s, one of humanity's greatest fears was being buried alive. People were often misdiagnosed as dead when really they were in a coma or a shock. And so, safety coffins were invented, a rope tied from the inside of the coffin to a bell above the ground. If the buried dead awoke, they could ring the bell for help. Saved by the bell meant saved from the grave. A phrase we use for working late at night, but in truth, it began with watchmen, men stationed in graveyards after dark. Their job was not only to protect the graves from vandals, but from body snatchers. In the 18th century, medical schools paid well for fresh corpses. Grave robbing was a thriving business. Imagine the silence of midnight, rows of fresh graves, and the knowledge that something or someone might have crawled out of the dirt. When someone is silent, we say, "Cat got your tongue?" But the origin is anything but playful. One tale traces it to ancient punishment. Liars and traitors had their tongues ripped out, their silence permanent. Another version points to the British Navy. Sailors were whipped with a cat-o'-nine's tail, a brutal weapon of leather straps and iron tips. The pain was so severe, victims often stood speechless. So, when the cat got your tongue, it wasn't cute. It was cruel. A harmless phrase for measuring things roughly, but its history is soaked in abuse. For centuries, an English law was believed to allow men to beat their wives so as long as the stick was no thicker than his thumb. The debate by historians, the phrase became tied to violence, power, and domination within the home. Rule of thumb was never meant to be innocent. It was a rule of control. We use it to mean face something hard, but its origin lies in blood. Before anesthesia, soldiers wounded in battle often faced surgery while fully awake to keep from screaming or biting off their own tongue. They were given a bullet to clamp down on, every scream muffled, every nerve seared, every life scared, hidden behind the phrase, "Bite the bullet." We believe it means family comes first, but that's a lie. The original phrase was, "The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb." Its meaning, the bonds of blood spilled together, brothers in battle, warriors who swore loyalty with blood, were stronger than family ties. What we thought was sweet was forged in war, in sacrifice, in death. Family by birth, weaker than family by blood. So, the next time you say these phrases, remember, you're not just speaking harmless words. You're whispering echoes of plague, torture, blood, and death. Everyday language built on bones.